Hey guys, got a bit of spare time, so I thought I'd do something a little bit different today. What I've got here is two miniatures from scale 75, and these are Kitty Reimer, not sure, and Captain Amelia Steam. These are both, well, one of them's from the steampunk range, and one of them is Platinum series. Both of these are actually 75mm figures, hence scale 75, and they're really nice figures that I found. So I figured I'd do a quick unboxing, stick them together with a bit of blue tack, and go over the positives and negatives that I've seen so far. So we've got Kitty. Let's do a quick zoom in. Very nice figure. A lot of detail on her, especially with the arm. And the face is very well sculpted. Captain Amelia. As you can see, they don't really come with bases. They do to a certain extent. I'll pull one out, because obviously they're designed for sort of building your own diorama around. So they just come very well packed. I'll give them that. Come in their own little box with nice big bits of foam, and this is how they come. So they do actually, I've already had this open, but they do actually come sort of this well laid out. You've got a very nice addition, a pin for the umbrella. That's particularly nice because a length of sort of pewter or lead or whatever these are made out of that long would bend very easily, whereas that's going to quite happily support the umbrella. So as usual with sort of miniatures like this, you've got the odd sort of bit of casting that will need to be removed here and there, and sort of the odd gate, things like that just need to be trimmed off. There's nothing too bad about these. So we've got the legs, and you can see you've got mounting holes for the various bits, and she sort of stood in a pose with one leg up. It does come with a sort of scenic base. As you can see, the miniature fits okay. I bend the legs out a bit to fit, but nothing too major. And you know, it's nice enough. It's a sort of decking pattern with groundworks, and you could certainly use it. You could probably put it in as part of a diorama, to be honest, but as I said, these miniatures are designed to be sort of added in as part of a diorama. There's a lot of flashing on this base. You can see all around the edge here there's quite a large amount of flashing. You'd have to take all that off with a knife. Nothing particularly difficult though. So the skirt, this is one huge bit of metal. This is a fairly serious bit of metal, this. But some really nice detail in the bustle. We've got a slight hole in there, and if you can see it, there you go. You can see the background through it. But again, you can quite easily get to this side to fill it over, and then smooth down on this side. Nothing particularly major about that. A lot of nice detail in the folds. It's going to be a lot of fun painting those. And the fit on the legs is incredibly good. You actually have to sort of slide it into position almost, because it fits so well. There we go, it's in. So, and you can see it's a nice close fit. Still probably going to want some gap filling here and there. Obviously, being metal, it sort of shrinks a little bit when you sort of put it in the mould, but there's nothing too major about it. And again, nice bit of casting. The face, there we go. I'll zoom in on that so you can see it's quite nice. There's a lot of detail in the face. I don't know whether that's coming out. I'll reposition the lights. There we go. So you can see there's a lot of detail sort of in the hat. You've got a feather coming out the hat, and she's got a, I'm not sure whether that's a necklace or part of the dress she's wearing. Hair, I think the hair continues. No, it doesn't. No. So that mounts on here quite nicely. Again, a little bit of gap filling just to fill that in, but nothing too horrific. Hair comes nicely down the back there. I haven't really got it in position too well. As I said, I'll blue tack these together so that you can see. Oops, just beheaded her. So that you can see better how they fit, and how it all goes together. But as I said, the sculpt is very, very nice, and you can actually get some good detail in that face, get some good shading and highlighting in there. And the same with the bustle and the chest. You've got the sort of the straps running around. There's a nice sort of frilly bit around the top, and then she's got this sort of short coat on. And again, it's quite a nice actual sort of sculpt, and there's a few sort of minor mould lines going around, but nothing too major, nothing that won't be fairly easy to fix. Again, you've got the odd sort of bit of flashing here and there, and yep, the join to the legs is just a straight sort of fit like that. So you just find where it fits best. So somewhere around about there. So that's the kind of pose you're looking at. And yeah, it's some really, really nice details. I mean, considering the scale, it's a 75mm figure. So if I fetch, this is the Arfanil that I'm painting in my other show. So you can see this is sort of on top of her. So you can see, there you go. There's the best example. Her legs are bigger than the Arfanil figure that I'm painting. So this is not a small figure by any stretch of the imagination. What I'll do is once I've got them built and blue tacked together, I will get a ruler out for you, so you can see up against a ruler how big this is. So again, you've got a little sprue of sort of the mechanical arm that she's got, some nice details on that, cogs and things like that, and there's the gun in the holster that goes on a leg. That's the back side of it. There you go. There's the front of it. So you've got some nice strap work going on in there that you can paint and blend, and the straps are actually curved, so you've got the sort of curve effect of the straps going on, so you can blend between dark and light very nicely on those. And then last but not least, you've got the other arm. This is the arm holding the umbrella, and as you can see, you've got the bottom of the umbrella coming out, and then the pin sort of mounts in there. Obviously you can gap fill a little bit, and then the parasol piece sort of fits on top. So that's all going to work. I probably won't be able to blue tack that in, because in all honesty that's a pretty heavy bit of metal, and that's going to need properly super gluing rather than blue tacking. But we'll get the rest of the figure built. So in the meantime, push all that off to one side, and we'll grab the other one and have a look at her. Again, she's the same scale, same packing. She actually comes with a sort of certificate. Apparently I got number 201, so no idea what that means. There's 200 before her. So, yep, nice little bit of card. So again, nice thick bits of foam, and she actually comes in a lot less pieces than the previous one. In fact, you've got the entire head to foot there. So if I grab our finial again, there you go. So you can see the kind of scale that you're working on. So you can get a lot more details, you can get a lot smoother blending in, and you can make the figure look absolutely fantastic. And they're not tremendously expensive. I think these were sort of about £40 each, I think. There's various websites in the UK that sell them, scale 75. I can't remember, it's a European company, I can't remember exactly where from. Spain apparently. The box says made in Spain, so there you go. That could just be where it's cast though, not sure. So again, going for a close-up on the details. The goggles are nice and large, so you can have great fun painting sort of gem effects on there. There's a hole in her back because she's got a backpack with her straps all over the shop, and their holster, I think, yep, holster for the gun goes in there. She's got a nice pair of thigh-high boots, and yeah, very all round, very nice sculpt. So we'll check the rest of it. So she's got a couple of hoses that go around the back. Yeah, the hoses do the job. Then a backpack, very nice sort of clockworky gears effect on there. Quite happily paint that in bronze, brassy colours. Nothing too major in the way of mould lines going on. You've got the holes for the pipes. This actually fits on a back like this. This is the only bit of the model I'm not completely convinced about. It fits on like that, and it sort of it fits in pretty well with her hair. But if you look from the side, there's a fairly major gap down there. Now whether her arm will actually cover that, and I think it probably will, because from this side it looks okay. There's nothing terribly wrong with it on this side. So I think the arm will cover that up quite nicely. But what I'll probably do is, because the actual sort of joining in there isn't too great, it's basically sort of down these sides. What I'll probably do is fill that bit with green stuff and just kind of go squish to make it fit better. So yeah, normally if I was doing this with a smaller figure, I would actually glue the whole figure together for you and sort of undercoat it, get it primed up, and then sort of put an ink wash over it. But with these kind of figures, because you've got such large parts and they're so well detailed, you actually want to be painting them separately, these kind of things, so that you're not missing out on any sort of bits that you can't reach with the brush because they're too sort of enclosed or something along those lines. So again, yeah, that's the leg. So another boot, another mould line to get rid of. But again, I mean, it's not huge. You can quite happily sort of scratch across it and you don't really feel it. You can only really see it because the light's shining on it in the right way. But again, you want to get those off, you want to get them removed. So we've got the arms, and again, nice little bit of clockwork. This confused me at first because I didn't know where her hand was. Turns out her hand is actually already on the figure, so you're essentially joining it, basically joining it in like that. That confused me when I first got her, because I swore blind I was missing the hand. Again, you've got the gun, mounting point, fairly bare holster in all honesty. It's got sort of two minor lines across there, but other than that, pretty plain holster, to be honest. Don't know how I'd paint that. It's got fairly hard corners, so I suspect I'd probably do some sort of bronzy effect on it and make it look like it's a metal holster or something, but it seems a bit weird. Maybe worth sort of modelling a strap to go round there and sort of pretend it's sort of strapped to her leg. As it goes on, where is it? It goes on like this. So you can see sort of it has a strap sort of going down there, and it's got this sort of buckle thing going on. But yeah, all in all, a bit plain really. The actual grip on the weapon's quite nice. There's a sort of cross-hatching grip on the weapon. I don't know if that's going to come out. Yeah, it is a bit. There we go. But yeah, beyond that, the gun's a little bit plain. To the point where you're going to have to remodel that entire section once you clip it off, because that's going to come off pretty much flat when you clip it. Base, again, functional but nothing to write home about. It's a couple of cogs. Yeah, it's nothing you couldn't do yourself really quite easily. But again, these are only for because they decided to put them in. You're always much better off making your own for this kind of thing. So yeah, nice figures. Okay, I'll stop the video, and when I come back I'll have them all blue tacked together for you. Okay, and we're back. So I've glued them together, and as you can see they look really nice. Obviously there's bits of blue tack sticking out here, there and everywhere, and I haven't glued the parasol on because it would just be too heavy. There's no way it would stay on just with blue tack. It'll be fine once you've got it glued in properly, but I can show you, assuming I don't make the arm fall off, but the parasol would end up being sort of about there. So obviously you're going to want to paint sort of the back of her at least before you actually stick that on. I haven't done any cleanup beyond what was necessary to actually get them together. So as you can see, there's still mould lines everywhere and things like that. I couldn't fit the pipes on her. They were just too small, and they needed sort of a bit of tweaking, bit of bending to get them to fit into position. But I can show you where they go easily enough. So if I show you her first, obviously this is just blue tack, so they are a little on the delicate side. So as you can see, we've got quite a nice figure. And the bases are actually all right. They fit with the figure, and that they'd certainly be enough if you didn't want to get involved in a diorama or anything like that. But obviously these characters would definitely benefit from something to show them off. And we'll move around the back, and you can see the backpack. The gun fits nicely on her hip, and the arm comes down the side. Now the pipes go from holes in the arm to the holes in the backpack, and the same on the other side. So we've got holes there and holes in her arm there. I think it's a bit, it's almost a bit odd that sort of the hole on this side is there and the hole on this side is on her wrist, as you can see, because I guess they've done it for aesthetic reasons, because otherwise it would sort of, you'd end up with a pipe sort of going all the way up to here, and that would just look a bit odd. But it kind of sort of feels a bit weird to me that it's sort of off on either side, but that's a minor, very, very minor thing. So she's looking very, very nice. I'm assuming she'll stay upright. I don't think she will. You'll have to forgive me if they just randomly fall over at some point. So this is the other one, Kitty Reimer. She is incredibly heavy. There we go. that skirt adds so much weight to it, but there we go. So I can get a zoom in on her. I don't think her head is supposed to be quite that far back, but I'm quick about this. Her arm's falling off already. So as you can see, with the skirt, you're going to want to stick the skirt on last, or you're not going to be able to get back to all the details around the back of her legs and things like that. Yeah, that arm's completely gone now. The arms fit quite well without the blue tack, to be honest. This arm was almost staying in on its own without the blue tack. I say almost. So the gun fits quite nicely down there. And again, if I can just manage to turn her over, there we go. Okay, that arm's gone. So as you can see, don't know what that was. The bustle fits quite nicely on the back there, and gives her quite a nice shape. Obviously, you're going to want to paint the figure before you stick that on, because otherwise you're not going to be able to get to all of the details round there. And you can always go in sort of once it's painted, you can always go in and sort of spray down the back, get your airbrush out, spray down the back with a bit of black or a dark grey or something along those lines. So there we go. And if I just leave her upright, if I stand, oh dear, they're all just falling apart now. Okay, should have measured them for you first, really, would have been easier. So she's upright. There we go, that's better. So if I grab the ruler, you can see they're not far off 75mm. So if I just move her completely out of the way, there you go, from the base to the top of the head, she is pretty much 75mm. So there you go, two very nice figures. I'll be painting them up essentially when I've got time to. I'm not entirely sure when it'll be, but I'm certainly looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Try out some new techniques as well. Yeah, they're going to be really, really nice figures. Alright, cheers guys.